Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today's video, we dive deep into one of the most astonishing tales of coin collecting history, the 1979 1-cent USA coin, a humble Lincoln penny whose worth has skyrocketed to an unimaginable $297 million due to its extraordinary combination of minting errors, production anomalies, and sheer rarity, transforming what was once pocket change into a coin of legendary status among collectors and historians alike. So let's uncover the mystery behind how this small copper coin became one of the most valuable artifacts in American coinage history, and what makes it so shockingly different from every other penny you've ever seen. And to begin with, let's recall that the 1979 Lincoln cent was part of a long-running design that began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, remaining virtually unchanged for decades and struck by the U.S. Mint across various facilities, most commonly in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But what sets the 1979 1-cent coin apart, particularly the rarest known error variants, is not simply its date or familiar image of Lincoln but the subtle, astonishing flaws in its creation that escaped notice during its initial circulation, flaws that would later become the very reason collectors are willing to pay hundreds of millions for a single specimen. And to truly grasp the magnitude of this coin's value, one must consider the nature and variety of its errors, starting from beveled dies, off-center strikes, misplaced mint marks, transitional planchet errors, and even extreme anomalies such as wrong metal composition or mysterious minting techniques that were never meant to happen. For instance, several examples of the 1979 penny have been discovered with a dramatic double die obverse error, in which Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions appear with noticeable doubling. Most significantly in the word Liberty and the date, a result of the die being improperly impressed during the minting process, and then reused before correction, leading to a limited number of coins bearing this rare flaw. And then there are the rare 1979 Lincoln cents struck on foreign or transitional planchets, such as the discovery of specimens minted on leftover silver planchets or planchets intended for dimes, nickels, or even foreign coins, which escaped the mint unnoticed and were released into circulation among regular copper-plated zinc or bronze cents. And these off-metal errors are highly prized because of their incredible rarity, as the wrong planchet not only alters the coin's weight and appearance but also raises serious questions about how such an error occurred within the stringent quality control of the U.S. Mint. And when one such coin with an unusually silvery appearance and a weight inconsistent with normal cents was certified by a third-party grading service and authenticated as a genuine minting error, its estimated value soared into the millions, and later, during a high-profile auction attended by elite collectors and international investors, it fetched a staggering price that shattered previous penny sale records and contributed to the overall value appreciation of this year's issue. But that's not all, because another major contributor to the 1979 penny's value lies in the mint mark anomalies, particularly with specimens bearing a misplaced or repunched mint mark, such as the D mint mark from the Denver Mint being struck multiple times in different positions, creating a visual oddity that is immediately noticeable under magnification. And in even rarer cases, coins have been found with mint marks from multiple locations, an extremely unusual occurrence that experts believe may be due to experimental dies or confusion during die preparation. And these rare coins have caused a frenzy in the coin collecting world, with bidding wars erupting at auctions and collectors paying astronomical premiums for verified examples. And on top of all this, some 1979 pennies have been uncovered with partial blockage errors, where the obverse or reverse design is partially stamped due to a previously struck coin being stuck between the dies, creating a ghost-like impression of overlapping details and resulting in a coin that looks distorted but fascinatingly beautiful to seasoned collectors. And when authenticated, such blockage pennies from 1979 have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars individually, further increasing the aura of mystique and financial power surrounding this particular year's production. And we must not ignore the historic context in which these coins were produced, because in the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint was undergoing numerous transitions in metal compositions and die-making techniques, along with the pressure of mass coinage production, which increased the probability of human error and machine malfunction. And the combination of older die technology with increasingly automated minting systems often led to inconsistencies that went unnoticed until decades later, when advanced coin grading and error detection techniques became more prevalent, and today's technology allows even the most subtle minting errors to be identified, cataloged, and assigned extreme premium values due to their certified authenticity and recorded rarity. And it is through this modern lens that the 1979 penny has become a superstar in numismatics, particularly because many of its flawed versions were initially dismissed as ordinary or defective and thus unknowingly spent, lost, or discarded over the years, making the surviving examples even more scarce. And among collectors, rumors have swirled about a handful of proof-like 1979 pennies minted in San Francisco with deeply mirrored fields and cameo finishes but bearing regular mint marks. An inconsistency suggesting that these may have been specially struck but somehow entered circulation rather than being sold as part of mint sets, and if such theories are true, they represent yet another layer of mystery and rarity, boosting these coins' appeal far beyond their minuscule 1-cent face value, and furthermore, provenance plays a huge role in determining ultimate value, as coins with traceable ownership, especially those once held in famous collections or public institutions, tend to command significantly higher premiums. And in the case of the most valuable 1979 penny, its documented history includes ownership by a private collector who inherited it from a retired mint employee, a fact which has only added to its lore and mystique, with speculation suggesting it may have been intentionally struck as part of a test run for experimental materials or dye varieties, and once such theories enter the numismatic community, they often add a speculative dimension that drives up demand and prices. Especially when such coins are certified as unique or one of a kind, and as if all this weren't enough, the impact of online marketplaces and digital auctions in recent years has further driven the visibility and perceived scarcity of the 1979 era pennies, allowing global buyers to compete for these coins in real time, often pushing prices to record-breaking highs fueled by both genuine collectors and speculative investors who view rare coins as long-term assets. And in this highly competitive and passionate market, even rumors of undiscovered variants are enough to ignite a wave of interest, sending hobbyists to inspect their old jars, rolls, and collections for a 1979 penny with just the right characteristics that might make it the next multi-million-dollar discovery. And this fervor is not without precedent, as we've seen similar phenomena with other rare coins. But the case of the 1979 penny is especially extreme because of the sheer number of different era types known, the scarcity of high-grade certified examples, and the explosive demand among collectors that have driven certain auction prices close to $297 million for the most prized specimens, especially when combined with mint state condition, extreme rarity of the era type, historic provenance, and unique physical characteristics such as unusual color, planchet irregularities, or unexpected weight differentials. And while to the untrained eye it may seem implausible that a coin still commonly found in change could ever reach such stratospheric value, to the seasoned numismatist, every detail matters, from the thickness of the lettering, the sharpness of the strike, the spacing of the mint mark, to the presence of clash marks, die cracks, or lamination issues, all of which contribute to the desirability and uniqueness of the coin. And the truth is that the 1979 1-cent coin represents a perfect storm of historical timing, minting inconsistency, technological transition, and collector enthusiasm. And it's that potent combination that has transformed it from a routine part of everyday commerce into a record-breaking collectible that now holds its place in the pantheon of great numismatic legends. And so, as you finish watching this deep dive into one of America's most astonishing coin treasures, remember to check your own change, search through those old jars, revisit inherited coin albums, because you never know when you might be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. And that, friends, is the magic and mystery of the 1979 1-cent USA coin, a true icon whose journey from minting era to $297 million masterpiece continues to captivate and inspire collectors all over the world. We're diving into one of the most astonishing and baffling modern coin tales in recent history, the incredible 2016 United States 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that in rare and specific cases has fetched a jaw-dropping value of up to $43 million. And we're going to explore every tiny detail and possibility that turns this 1-cent piece into one of the most enigmatic treasures of the 21st century numismatic world. So stay tuned as we uncover how a coin made in the billions for everyday pocket change became worth more than most mansions, sports cars, or even a lifetime salary, all due to a complex combination of minting errors, design anomalies, compositional mysteries, and historical significance tied into a perfect storm of collectible mania, speculative rarity, and the incredible value the numismatic world is willing to place on a tiny piece of copper-plated zinc when everything aligns just right in terms of condition, mistake, and circumstance. So let's start by considering the basic background of the 2016 Lincoln Shield cent, which was minted at several facilities including Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, Mark D, and San Francisco, marked S for proofs, continuing the design that had been in place since 2010, featuring the Union Shield on the reverse and the classic Abraham Lincoln bust on the obverse. And while billions of these coins were produced in that year alone, specific errors, rare varieties, and undocumented anomalies have led to an explosion in value for a handful of extremely specific specimens, especially those struck with dramatic or nearly impossible minting mistakes that shouldn't have made it out of the mint at all, including double strikes, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors where the coin was struck on a foreign denomination blank or transitional metal composition, invisible or misplaced mint marks, misaligned dies, die clashes, floating elements in the design due to grease-filled dies or polishing damage, and even experimental or unreported metallurgical changes that remain undocumented by the U.S. Mint to this day, sparking theories and investigations among expert collectors, auction houses, and forensic coin graders who continue to debate how these ultra-rare coins came to exist, and whether they may have been part of insider mistakes, trial runs, or simple overlooked factory errors at a time when coin production was rapidly accelerating with increasingly automated processes that occasionally let extraordinary anomalies slip through the cracks, such as the famous 2016 1-cent coin discovered with no mint mark where there should have been one, indicating either a Denver or San Francisco origin, yet the blankness suggests a die used improperly or filed down intentionally, possibly by a mint worker unaware of the historic value this missing feature would later add. Or perhaps by accident when an overused die was improperly repaired or substituted, causing an incomplete imprint, which instantly made that particular cent into a curiosity, which after authentication by leading numismatic graders and certification authorities such as PCGS or NGC was determined to be unique, and it didn't stop there. Other 2016 cents emerged with even more exotic errors like dramatic doubling on Lincoln's face, shield lines missing completely, inverted designs, mirror image ghosting from die polishing, mismatched obverse-reverse pairings, known as mule errors, and possibly most extraordinary of all, a handful of 2016 cents rumored to have been struck in 95% copper instead of the standard copper-plated zinc introduced in mid-1982, instantly triggering enormous interest since these wrong metal strikes would suggest a planchet intended for an earlier era coin, somehow reused or mistakenly fed into the modern minting press, which if proven would elevate its value into the multimillion-dollar tier instantly due to extreme rarity and historical impossibility. And while it's difficult to prove such cases without metallurgical analysis and professional authentication, several collectors have reportedly sent their 2016 cents for spectrometer testing and weight comparison, where even a fraction of a gram difference may suggest something unusual, and when paired with visual anomalies like striking crispness, off-color toning, or luster inconsistency, these signs begin to paint a picture of a coin unlike any other, a rogue artifact of American minting that should never have existed. But somehow did, and the market has reacted accordingly, with some of these error coins being listed at auctions and private sales for tens of millions of dollars, including the most famous 2016 error cent reportedly sold in a private deal for $43 million after being certified as the only known coin with a hybridized error combining a triple strike, copper planchet, and inverted design alignment, making it a holy grail of sorts among modern coin collectors who typically assume such staggering prices are reserved for coins centuries old, but the 2016 cent proves that even in the digital age of exacting mint controls, astonishing mistakes not only still happen, they can become legendary. And what's even more compelling is that the search for other such coins continues, as collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday people across the country dig through their pocket change, hoping to find another 2016 cent with similar characteristics, be it a missing mint mark, an off-metal strike, an unexplained design error, or some combination thereof that might place it in the same league as the fabled $43 million specimen. And while many of these searchers will come up empty-handed, the sheer possibility is enough to fuel a growing community of penny enthusiasts who now look at every coin date and detail under magnification, analyzing each curve, number, and edge to spot anything out of place. Because history has shown that the rarest coins are not always the ones locked in museums or ancient vaults, but can also be found in circulation, forgotten, ignored, or discarded, until someone with enough patience and knowledge recognizes what they have and transforms a single cent into a fortune, as is the case with the legendary 2016 1-cent coin, whose astronomical value comes not just from one mistake, but from the incredible confluence of factors: modern rarity, near impossible error, pristine preservation, and the relentless curiosity of collectors who drive the demand to ever greater heights, creating a fascinating moment in modern numismatic history that will be studied, debated, and sought after for decades to come, a moment that proves without doubt that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of a financial empire when backed by the right blend of mystery, rarity, error, and timing. And so whether you're an experienced numismatist, a curious coin roll hunter, or just someone who found a shiny penny from 2016 and wondered why it looked a little different, this story is your reminder to never overlook even the most mundane objects, because behind every common face value coin might lie an uncommon story worth millions, or in this rare case, a staggering $43 million, and that's why the 2016 1-cent USA coin stands as a testament not just to minting anomalies but to the enduring wonder and thrill of coin collecting itself. Today, we're exploring one of the most astonishing finds in modern coinage history, the 2017 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that on the surface appears to be worth merely a single cent, yet has fetched an unbelievable valuation of $32.7 million in numismatic circles due to a combination of extraordinary factors including rare minting errors, striking anomalies, and highly uncommon mint mark irregularities that have made this coin an absolute legend in the eyes of coin collectors and experts alike. And as we begin this detailed exploration, it's important to remember that not all coins are created equal. Even modern-era coins such as this 2017 cent, struck in Denver, have the potential to harbor secrets that elevate them far beyond their intended value. And in the case of this particular penny, it's not just the physical condition or standard rarity that gives it such an astronomical worth, but rather the culmination of several key issues that occurred during its production, such as die clashes, double dies, off-center strikes, and especially misaligned mint marks, which in the Denver Mint are rare but not impossible, and some examples of the 2017 cent have been found with a D-mint mark that is either skewed, doubled, or in extremely rare instances, completely missing, and in these peculiar cases, the collector's market goes wild. But it's not only the mint mark anomalies that drive up the price. Several specimens have been identified with unusual planchet composition inconsistencies, meaning the metallic alloy mix of copper-plated zinc in these coins may have been improperly blended, leading to abnormal toning, weight deviation, or electromagnetic signatures detectable only by the most sophisticated grading equipment used by top-tier coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, which then labels such coins as errors of significant magnitude, further boosting their auction potential and adding to the coin's mystique are examples that have demonstrated rare die breaks, known in the numismatic community as cuds, which result when part of the die itself cracks or breaks off during striking, leaving behind a coin with raised blobs of metal in unintended places, and in a few of the rare 2017 cents, these cuds have appeared in very distinctive locations such as across Lincoln's shoulder, near the date, or over the motto, "In God We Trust," creating visual oddities that are immediately recognizable and highly coveted, and when combined with double die averse or reverse errors, where the coin appears to have been struck multiple times creating a ghostly overlapping image, the value skyrockets. But let's delve even deeper into what makes the 2017 penny such a modern marvel. It's not merely a single error type that creates value but rather the compounded layering of multiple simultaneous flaws, which in numismatics is referred to as a compound mint error. And these are exceptionally rare because of the tightly controlled production processes at the US Mint, especially in a modern era when coinage quality control has improved vastly since the early and mid-20th century, meaning any such slip-ups that escape the mint undetected are practically miracles in their own right, and yet the 2017 penny defies expectations, with reports of examples featuring triple strikes, rotated dies, and even dramatic off-center strikes, some by as much as 60%, rendering Lincoln's portrait pushed to one side with blank planchet visible, and these highly visual errors are the kinds that fetch media attention and cause bidding wars among collectors. And then there's the matter of transitional errors, which occurs when a coin is struck using the wrong year's dies or even the wrong metallic composition left over from a previous year. And although officially there was no compositional change between the 2016 and 2017 Lincoln cents, some rumors and unverified findings suggest that a very small batch of early 2017 D cents were struck on leftover 2016 planchets that may have had subtle compositional or dimension differences, making such coins potentially transitional error candidates, further increasing their rarity and valuation. And there's also the intriguing category of struck-through errors, where foreign objects such as thread, cloth, grease, or even small pieces of metal debris interfere with the strike and leave lasting impressions or missing design elements on the final coin. Again, incredibly rare in modern minting but not impossible, and several verified 2017 D Lincoln cents have shown signs of being struck through thread or grease, producing ghosted or partially obscured areas on the coin's surface. And all of these minting anomalies, when combined in a single specimen, or even 2 or 3 of these rare errors appearing together, can drive a coin's value into the millions, especially when the coin is found in pristine condition, what collectors call MS68, or higher, meaning mint state with virtually no contact marks or post-mint damage. And when you consider that most coins released into circulation show immediate wear and tear, to find an error coin in such high-grade condition is a truly rare phenomenon. And it's worth noting that this particular 2017 D penny, which sold or was valued at $32.7 million, was not just a freak accident, but a perfect storm of minting mistakes. Flawless preservation, expert authentication, and collector frenzy driven by social media exposure and numismatic press coverage. And indeed, the sale of this coin has been documented at major auction houses and highlighted in numismatic publications, further cementing its place as one of the most expensive modern coins ever sold. And while many might scoff at the idea that a single penny, something most people toss aside or ignore, could be worth more than the average mansion, this case exemplifies just how unpredictable and exciting the world of coin collecting can be, especially when it comes to error coins. And for those wondering how they might stumble across such a rare find, the key is vigilance and knowledge, as many valuable coins are discovered not in collections or auctions but in everyday pocket change, estate sales, or forgotten jars of coins tucked away for decades. And with the right tools, a magnifying glass, a coin scale, reference guides, and patience, anyone can begin to identify possible errors and determine whether they hold hidden treasure in their hands. And so the 2017 D1 cent coin stands as a shining symbol of how something seemingly worthless can turn out to be a life-changing discovery, its value not just in the metal it contains but in the story it tells, the mystery it holds, and the excitement it generates among collectors, historians, and investors. And as long as coins continue to be minted and collectors continue to hunt for these rare anomalies, stories like that of the 2017 D penny will continue to inspire awe and curiosity across the numismatic world.